meeting held on Wednesday, January 8th, 2025, 2:30 p.m. Between Microsoft Teams and the Office of the Inspector General in City Hall. We will go ahead and call this meeting to order. My name is Stephen Fogelman, and you need to know that all participants in the public session of the board meeting acknowledge and consent to the video and audio recording of the public session and the publication of the recording on the board's website and social media accounts. On December 11th, per the Open Meetings Act, the board discloses it adjourned its virtual open meeting on that date to enter the administrative session at 2:50 p.m. All board members were present. Members discussed administrative matters, including complaints. Today, the board may need to close some or all of this meeting to preserve the confidentiality mandated by the Ethics Code or is otherwise authorized by the State Open Meetings Act. Likewise, upon adjournment of the open session, the board may reconvene today for an administrative session to discuss non-public administrative functions of the board. All right, we've got 3 members here, and do we have any time conflicts this afternoon?
Not I.
Yes, I do, Steve. I have to finish by 4. I've got a call that I can't reschedule at 4.
Sure. Sounds like a highly reasonable request today, based on what I'm seeing here. So, no problem. All right. Do we want to, Director Amberger, Chris, do we want to go ahead and call in do we have a guest?
I believe we have no guest in the public part. We actually have a very brief agenda today. Even the old business is old business and really just an update on a waiver that already was granted by the board. So,
all right, thank you. Let's move to the written minutes of the December 11, 2024 meeting. And I very pleased with the thoroughness. I think that's the balance we talked about between thoroughness and not being overly, not writing a book about it. It's a great balance. My only correction, and I feel bad even bringing this up because my name has been misspelled maybe 150,000 times in my life. So, and it's funny because my daughter's name is Annabelle, and she's also got a first name that can be misspelled easily. So my name is spelled kind of differently throughout the document. But it's no big deal.
And we will fix it and keep it in mind.
It's all good. All right. So any other comments or suggestions on the public session minutes for December 11th?
None here.
Okay. Yeah, I'd move to approve the public session minutes of December 11th, 2024.
Second.
All right. All in favor of approval, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right. They are approved. Let's go ahead and throw this to staff at OIG.
Who would like to go with the, let me just go first. There's very little to report on over the holidays since December 11th. Since the new city council was sworn in, I have been able to provide several in-person trainings to both council members and to their staff. They have been very engaged and very receptive with many good questions. And I have a number of other meetings scheduled with them for this week and the next week in smaller trainings. But otherwise, that is pretty much the only staff update I can provide. We are putting everything together right now to orchestrate the next financial disclosures for calendar 2024, and of course all the board members are invited to timely submit their own disclosures. The deadline is April 30th. We are working with the IOG's office and the OIG's office and their IT specialist and BCIT on the new system for financial disclosures, which is a very slow-moving project. But hopefully we have everything ready for the great number of the majority of filers this year. So that is pretty much all. We not a whole lot happening this month. Nishan, or would you mind giving the numbers, or is Anitra had to step out? Or we can put them.
Since she stepped away, I can run through them real quick. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so for help desk in December, I'm sorry. We received a total of 32 help desks. 5 help desks were from lobbyists, 5 were from gift solicitation waivers, 10 help desks were concerning financial disclosure statements, 1 help desk was an ethics inquiry, 3 were regarding the ethics training, 8 help desks were administrative, none were out of our jurisdiction, bringing our total to 265. For the ethics training in December, we had 59 people complete the training, bringing our total to 209. For complaints for fiscal year 2025, we received a total of 8. Currently, we have, I believe that's one. We had 1 open case and 6 were dismissed. As a typo, sorry. For a gift, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. We have 2 open. One
okay.
which will be up in the administrative section today.
Gotcha.
I have a brief report on another.
Gotcha. For gift solicitation waivers, currently there are 21 active waivers. 7 have expired or were rescinded. For lobbyists, ethics staff have sent reminders to the 2024 registered lobbyists to register for 2025, as well as submit their annual report by January 31st. And also for financial disclosures, ethics staff has reached out to agencies and boards in aiding us with the required filer spreadsheets that were due on January 2nd.
All right, thank you. Anything else from staff? All right, we appreciate you, Chris, Nishan, Anitra. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and move into our old business, MOID Infrastructure Summit.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Arnold.
may I respectfully and with total humility say that first I want to say that the reporting of those statistics was done very well, as been the case for a long time. I think that there was, I'm an older guy, I'm probably the oldest person on the screen, so I may have forgotten, but I think there was an effort, there was an agreement that there will be a very mild effort to get to publicize some of the things that the ethics committee, board has done, and I continue to respectfully, trust me, I'm not trying to be an agitator, advocate that we do so that the public knows, A, that the board exists, the politicians know that we are doing something, and that we they can find that out by going to YouTube and seeing the incredible recordings of each meeting. But I do think that we would get more support from the powers that be if we had a slightly more visible profile. I assure you, it's not my ego that says this. It's not a self-aggrandizement. It's not in the least. It is a case of saying we have an incredible staff. Our board members do a great job, but I think that what we do is not as widely known as it could be if we, as a matter of routine, sent this information to the publications like the Banner. I don't know the Brew, or maybe the Brew. I know the Sun paper. And if they don't want to publish them, no problem. Or but if this is overdone, or if this comes across as beating our own drum, please, I will gladly withdraw it until the next time when I may have forgotten it again. But I think that the work is too important that we do, and the effort, the energy of our staff in particular, is too important to have it not be known about by the general public. With that, I'll be quiet.
Thank you, Arnold. Let me just first state that I think we're all proud of our annual report for 2024, and that that is out there. It's out there on the web. I don't have an active Twitter account personally. I don't think you do, but this board does. So they're doing better than us. So, for what that's worth. In the meantime, I think I'd love to turn it to the younger generation, and I think Nishan and Anitra probably would be great at occasion, maybe more periodically updating our social media if they feel comfortable doing that. And I know Chris is always thinking about ways to do that as well. But let me say, because we always say this, but part of it is there's a confidential component to what we do. I think we can all agree that sometimes the meat and potatoes of these meetings occur not in the public session. And so we're very rarely, if ever, going to get into that. So we're an unusual organization as far as that goes. But on the other hand, transparency is everything, to effective government. And so I totally understand what you're saying. And I think staff, you want to jump in here, but I think everybody's always brainstorming that. And I agree with you completely.
All right, and thank you for your response. And I'll just say that I think we're pretty healthy in terms of the social media, because I've had a friend on the West Coast who periodically comments on how attractive the members of the board are on when the meetings. Yes, she thinks you in particular. She thinks your coif is incredible. But I'm thinking, go ahead. I'm thinking more of the local media, and I think that if a profile was different, if our visibility, just try that again, I'll change the word, was different, then it would put people on, at least have them know that an organization like this exists, and maybe it would be a whisper in their ears as they're contemplating whatever they're contemplating. Some of the changeovers in our representation, the council people, none of which I think had anything to do with any ethical considerations at all. But I think that some of the visibility of our organization might have helped them. I mean, I think, for example, that our current city council president, who was a very active ombudsman, spokesperson for good causes, benefited from those, and benefited from being active in what he did in the public, and he would come to us on a regular, and I think that clearly boosted his credibility and his popularity, and hence look at where he is now, hot ziggity. But I trust your judgment. Yeah, I think that you are a senior statesman in terms of boards in the city. And if you say we're doing okay, then we're doing okay. I just thought maybe trying to raise it a little bit would not be a bad thing. And it's not about me. I mean, any day I can be bumped off because of some things we all know about.
I appreciate what you say, and I do.
Yes.
I think a continuing discussion, and so I'm always. I'm especially interested in always hearing the ideas of the employees of the support staff that do support us, because you're not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. John's not going to do it. So, but I'm always interested, and I'm certain there will be a way for us to do that. So thank you, Arnold, for all the
Yes,
kind
sir.
words. Well,
Yes, sir.
And I think we can start off the year with the, pointing at the annual report that just came out.
right.
And I don't believe we have advertised that in social media, but for all it's worth, it has all the numbers that we are reporting for the past fiscal and calendar year. So we will do so. And Arnold, it is not that I'm ignoring you at all. It is just, from in my perspective, while we get, comparatively many calls and help desk requests, in all, coming out of publishing, I always think maybe the 40, even if it's 40 in a month, help desk request, may not be the newsmaker that we hope it would be. But we will continue exploring further options, and I'm not just saying that to appease you.
Okay. Is that, did you just give me the Lazarus smile just a minute ago?
I give yes.
You did.
Yes.
Okay,
Dead man
okay.
coming back to life. Yes.
And by the way, what an incredible piece of work. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had known this about you. I can't wait to talk to you more about this. I just can't. I mean, so wonderful. I'm so pleased and proud of you, and I'm so impressed. So,
Thank you.
wow.
All right, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, no, now you piqued my curiosity. Let's keep going. It's a good day for this. We have a short docket, so I'm going to have to hear about this, Chris, off the record. Anyway, that's pretty cool. MOID Infrastructure Summit. You were going to give us a follow-up on that old business.
Yes, and Nishan, correct me if I'm wrong. The only thing different here is they're requesting an extension of the period that
Yes.
for the waiver
Mhm.
due to delays in planning.
Yeah, and staff change. A lot of staff changes.
So I don't think that is necessarily something that the board needs to vote on because it already voted on it, but it is really just off note to the board that this is a modification to an existing permission or permit that was properly voted on.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Chris about that? Okay. I don't see anything else on this session. So with that, unless there's any objection, we'll go ahead and move to adjourn at 2:54 p.m. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, seconds?
Hang on. Still